Learn how to knit the cream birthday hat today. Let's start with the main part, magic ring. Start by hooking a CH chain stitch. Thread the crochet hook down through the loop, winding the yarn to bring the thread out. This is ACH. The first loop hooks 6 SC single crochet. The SC is hooked with the crochet hook through the loop, winding the yarn to bring the thread out, winding yarn through 2 loops. This makes 1 SC. After the 6 SCs are hooked up, tightening the coil. SSSL straight slip stitch with the first stitch. Crochet through an entire stitch. Wrap the yarn to bring the yarn out of the stitch, bringing out the loop directly. This is a slip stitch. Hook a CH for each loop, and then the second loop. Position of the needle for each loop. All stitches are from the same stitch where you just hooked the slip stitch. Hook a SC in the second loop. Then in the next stitch hook an inch increase. That's 2 SC in one stitch. That's 1 inch. Then hook 2 more SCs in a row. Hook an inch in the next stitch. Crochet a SC in the last stitch. Hook a slip stitch with the first stitch. Hook ACH, then hook a third loop. Hook 3 SC first. Then hook an inch. And repeat 3 SC 1 inch. After hooking, slip stitch with the first stitch. Hook ACH, then hook a fourth loop. Hook 2SC first. Then hook an ink. Then tick 4SC. Then check 1 ink. And finally 2SC. Hook and slip stitch with the first stitch. Hook ACH, and then the 5th loop. Hook 5SC. Then hook an ink. Repeat. 5SC, 1 ink. Slip stitch with first hook. Hook ACH. Next, hook the 6th loop. Hook 3SCs first. Hook another ink. Then hook 6SC. One ink. The last 3SC. Then slip stitch with the first stitch. Hook ACH, and then the 7th loop. First hook 7SC. Then hook an ink. Repeat. 7SC, 1 ink. Slip stitch with first stitch. Hook ACH. Then hook the 8th loop. Hook for SC first. Then hook an ink. Then hook 8 SC. Hook another ink. And finally, hook for SC. Slip stitch with first stitch. Hook ACH. Next, hook the 9th. First 9 SC. Then hook an ink. Then repeat again with 9 SC and an ink. Then slip stitch with the first stitch. Hook ACH. Next, hook the 10th loop. First hook 5 SC. Then hook an ink. Then hook 10 SC. Then hook and ink. And finally, hook 5SC. Slip stitch with the first stitch when finished. Hook ACH. The 11th loop is a total of 24 SC. One SC on one stitch. Slip stitch with first stitch. Hook ACH. Then hook a 12th loop. The 12th loop is crocheted on the outer half stitch. That's the part of the stitch that's close to your body. And then 3 cheese. Plus just the first stitch. Now there are 4 cheese. Then we'll crochet back from the penultimate stitch. Crochet ADC double crochet. Pick up a thread at the end of the stitch. Then winding the yarn to bring out the needle's eye. Wrap the yarn again to bring out the first 2 loops. Wrap the yarn to bring out the last 2 loops. This is ADC. Next stitch hook AHDC half double crochet, wrap yarn around it. Thread the needle into the stitch. Bringing out the yarn. Winding the yarn through all the loops at once. This is 1 HDC. Next we crochet on the outer half stitch of the body. First we crochet ASC. This is the outer half of the stitch that was just slip stitched into the needle. Hook ASC. Then the next stitch picks up the outer half of the needle. Hook AHDC. Pick up the outer half stitch in the next stitch. Hook ASC. This is the first set of crochet, and now the second crochet. Hook 6ch. Crochet back on the penultimate stitch. Crochet 2 DCs first. Hook another HDC. Hook another SC. And then back to the main body. Pick the outer half stitch. Hook ASC. Pick another half stitch outside. Hook HDC. Pick the outer half stitch again. Hook ASC. This is the second set. These two weaves are one big group, and then it keeps repeating. Repeat for one more round. Here's the demonstration again. Starting for CH. Crochet ADC in the penultimate stitch back, and AHDC. Hook up and go back to the main body. All outside half stitches. First hook ASC, hook another HDC. Hook another SC. And then 6 trees. Crochet back in the penultimate stitch. 2 DCs. One HDC. And NSC. And then back to the main body. ASC, NHDC, hook another SC. Repeat this for a whole group. After a full loop is completed, let's find a place to slip stitch over here. Cut the yarn. Then hide the excess yarn inside. After a few stitches of hiding, you can cut this yarn. The white part is knitted. And then we switch to the blue yarn. Continue crocheting on the inner half needle. Crochet into the inner half stitch. Bring out the yarn. Hook ACH. Next, start hooking ASC. Still in this stitch pattern. Hook ASC. Next, hook 6 SC in a row. Now that's a total of 7 SC. Next, stitch 1 ink. "11 more SC in a row. After 11 more SCs, hook an ink. And finally 4 more SC hooks. Then slip stitch with the first stitch. Hook ACH. Next, hook a 13th stitch. That's 26 SC. There is 1 SC in each stitch. Slip stitch with the first stitch after hooking. Hook ACH. Next, hook a 14th stitch. Hook 12 SC first. Then hook and ink. "12 SCs and 1 ink." Repeat twice. After repeating slip stitch, hook ACH. Next, hook the 15th stitch. That's 28 SC. There is 1 SC in each stitch. "28 SC hooked and slip stitch with the first stitch. Hook ACH, and then the 16th loop. Hook 3 SCs first. Hook another ink. And then 13 SCs in a row. Hook 1 more ink after that. And finally 10 SCs in a row. Slip stitch with first stitch. Hook ACH. And then the 17th loop. Hook 11 SC. Hook another ink. Hook 14 more SC. Then hook an ink. And finally hook 3 SC. Slip stitch with first stitch. Hook ACH. Next, hook the 18th loop. First hook 7 SC. Hook another ink. Hook 4 more SC. Hook another ink. Keep hooking 10 more SC. Then hook an ink. Then hook 4 more SC. One ink. And finally 3 SC hooks. Slip stitch with first stitch. hook ACH, and then the 19th loop, 36 SC in all. 1 SC in each stitch. After 36 SC hooks, slip stitch with first stitch. Hook ACH. Next, hook the 20th loop. First hook for SC. Then hook an ink. So for SC, 1 ink for group. Repeat for a total of 6 groups. After 6 sets of hooks, and finally 6 more SC hooks. Slip stitch with first stitch. Hook ACH. Then hook the 21st loop. Hook 42 SC in total. 1 SC in each stitch. After 42 SC are hooked, slip stitch with first stitch. Then cut the yarn. Then switch to the purple yarn. Crochet in lace for a birthday hat. Still working in the same stitch as the slip stitch. Place the blue yarn on the crochet hook to hide it. Wrapping yarn to bring purple yarn into the stitch. Hook ACH. Hook 2 more CH. And then we are in the next stitch. Crochet 5 DCs of unfinished stitches. Puff stitch. Winding yarn. Threading needles, bringing out the yarn. Winding yarn through the first 2 loops. This is an unfinished DC. Wrap the yarn again to bring the thread out. Winding the thread through the first 2 coils. 2 unfinished DCs. a total of 5 unfinished DCs. Three, 4, 5. 5 hooked. Now there are 6 loops on the crochet hook. Wind the yarn through all the loops at once. Then hook ACH. One empty stitch here. Hook a slip stitch in the next stitch. Slip stitch followed by 3 cheese. Hook 5 unfinished DCs in the next stitch of the puff stitch. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. When finished, thread all the loops and hook ACH. Skip a stitch. And then the next stitch slip stitch. We are going to take the puff stitch and we are going to top it off. It's getting fuller. The next step is the same as the previous one. Keep repeating. And one last demonstration. Hook 3CH. Next stitch, hook 5 unfinished DCs in puff stitch. After 5 DCs are hooked, hook ACH, empty a stitch, and then the next slip stitch. Keep repeating the crochet. Knit a whole round. After the last puff stitch, we stitch with the first puff over here. Slip stitch at CH. After the completion of cutting the yarn, Next, hide the yarn a little bit. After hiding the yarn, cut the excess yarn. Then glue the cream edge in place. The body of the birthday hat is now complete. Next is the crocheting of the pentagram. Magic ring. Hook ACH. 10 SC in the first loop. Tighten the loop after hooking. Slip stitch with first stitch. Hook ACH. Next, the second loop, starting from the same position as the slip stitch. First hook ASC, then hook an HDC in the next stitch. Wrap the thread around the wart, threading the needle to bring out the thread. Wrap the yarn and thread all the loops at once. This is an HDC, still hooking ADC in this pin. Winding yarn, threading the needle to bring out the thread. Wrap the yarn around the first two loops first. Wrap the yarn and thread the last two loops. This is ADC. Then hook ACH. Still in this stitch, hook a TR triple crochet. Wrap the yarn around twice, threading the needle to bring out the yarn. Winding the yarn through the first two loops first. Winding yarn through the first two loops. Rewinding the last two coils. This is a TR. Hook ACH. Still in this stitch, hook ADC. And then an HDC in the same stitch. This is one corner of the pentagram. Then hook ASC in the next stitch. On the next stitch, continue to hook the corner of the pentagram. Start with AHDC, ADC, hook ACH, hook TR, hook ACH, DC, HDC, the second corner is hooked up. The rule is 1 SC plus 1 corner. Repeat this 5 times. SC. Next stitch, continue to hook the corner of the pentagram. HDC. DC. TR. After all 5 corners are hooked, we do a slip stitch with the first SC of stitches. When finished, cut the yarn. Now the pentagram is ready. Here we have two pieces of pentagrams. You can sew it together, slightly thicker. Pick up the inner half stitches of the needle purpose in turn and stitch it up. After sewing, hide the excess yarn. Cutting the broken threads. Next, hook the ball on top of the birthday hat. Magic ring. Hook ACH. Hook 6SC in the first loop. Tighten the loop after hooking. Slip stitch with first stitch. Hook ACH. Hook 6 ink on the second loop. Two SC in each stitch. Slip stitch with the first stitch after 6 ink hooks. Hook ACH. Hook a search. 1 SC and 1 ink as a group. Repeat for a total of 6 groups. After crocheting, slip stitch with first stitch. Hook ACH. Then hook a fourth loop. That's 18 SC. There is 1 SC in each stitch. Slip stitch with the first stitch after hooking. Hook ACH. Next, hook the fifth loop. 1 SC, 1 deck as a group. Repeat for a total of 6 groups. The crochet hook is threaded through an entire stitch to bring out the yarn. The yarn is then threaded into the next stitch to bring out the yarn. Wrap the yarn around and thread all the loops at once. This is a deck. Repeat that again. 1 SC. A deck as a group. After 6 sets of hooks, slip stitch with first stitch. The sixth loop is a total of 6 deck. Hook a CH first, hook a sixth loop. After 6 deck hooks, you can stuff a little bit of filler to fill it in. Slip stitch with the first stitch after stuffing. Cutting the yarn. Wrapping up with a sewing needle. Pick up the outer half of the stitches in sequence. Tighten and hide the yarn a bit. Cutting the yarn. And finally the tying part. Crochet down, wrap a loop first, then wind the yarn to bring it into the loop. Tie a knot, then start hooking. The length is up to you. There's about 100 trees hooked here. You can adjust the length to suit your needs. After hooking it up, we attach it to the birthday hat. Then we attach the bow to the strap as well. And finally, we attach the pentagram to the birthday hat. After fixing it, you can use glue for a second fixing. Then you sew different colors of yarn on top. Now the birthday hat is ready.